Question 7 says, a teacher is designing a program to perform simple syntax checks on programs written by students. Two global 1D arrays are used to store the syntax error data. Both arrays contain 500 elements. There's this error code array which contains integer values that represent error numbers in the range 1 to 800. Then there's error text which contains string values that represent error descriptions. So here's an example. We have index 1, index 2, index 3, right, 4, okay, up until 500. And then index 1 in error code is 10, alright, then just, the error text. Likewise 2, right, error code 20. And of course this error text. Note, it says there may be less than 500 error numbers, so corresponding elements in both arrays may be unused. Unused elements in error code have the value 999, and unused elements in error text are undefined. Right, so this is not even a string. This can just be, maybe just like an empty string or just nothing. Basically we just have to check this. Then it says values in the error code array are stored in ascending order, but not all values may be present. For example, there may be no error code 31, and as we see here, right, there's no error code 1, there's no error code 2, right, there's no 11, 12, 13. So we then have these modules. This is the one we want to write first. OutputError, which takes two parameters as integers, then a line number in the student's program, also an error number. It searches the array in the array code, in the error code array. And then if found, then outputs the error description, and line number. For example, bracket mismatch on line 34. And if not found, it just outputs the same, but just unknown error instead of the kind of real error. And then if we go down, it says we need to write efficient pseudocode for this module. So let's just try this. And when it says efficient, what that's saying is, let's say you have error code like 50. Well, of course we see, right, it's not 10, it's not 20, right? Then of course we find it, and then at this point we can just stop. So we don't have to then check, sort of index 4, index 5, right up until index 500. I guess also if the error code equals 999, then we can also stop. Because, let's say we have an array, maybe here there's only 4 error codes, and then the other 496 are just going to be 999s. So in that case we can also stop. Let's go here then. And as always, here we've just got some kind of starter code. It's got 500 error numbers, 500 error text, and we see some of them are also undefined like this, right, 999. And then I guess in here, I've just represented them as an empty string. Right, so if you want this starter code, again, just go to the exam questions, choose the correct year, the correct paper, and you should be able to find it. Right, so let's go here, procedure. This is OutputError. This takes two parameters. One is a line number. Let's call it line num. And then this is error number. Okay, they're both going to be integers. Let's remember just to end the procedure. Now, in terms of variables, I guess, if we're using a while loop, then we'll actually need an index. Same as if we use a repeat until. So this will be an integer, and then, so I think we'll also need a boolean, so just a flag representing if we found it. So let's say found, this will be boolean, right, and then let's just initialize these, so index can start at 1, found, this will be false. So let's say let's try repeat until. So I think there's going to be a few different conditions. One will be until found equals true, the other stopping condition will be, I guess, if index is greater than the length of the array. If index is greater than 500. And then there's also another condition, which is if the current error code is equal to 999. So let's go here, error code. And then this will be index, and if this is if this is equal to 999, right, and I think that should be okay. Now notice that actually we do need to actually do this one first, before we do this error check, because the way an OR will work is well, of course, if the first one is true, right, then basically it won't even check these, okay, because the first one is true, so it will just stop. But I guess, for example, yeah, this one, like if this is true, so if it is bigger than 501, well, then it will just stop. Okay, so then we won't get a situation where it tries to do something like this, because yeah, if it does this, then we'll get an error. Yeah, that's why we need this check first. I mean, and is also kind of the same, so and will just keep going, but then as soon as it finds one that's false, then it will also stop. But yeah, alright, so what do we want to do? We want to get, right, I think we just want to check, so we want to check the if error code, and this will be index. Right, if this is equal to the, if this is equal to the error number, well then we can set found to true, and I think then we just want to output this message. So, okay, let's go output. And this will be, error text. Okay, this is the same index. Right, and then we just want, well, online, and then we just have the line number. Right, and yeah, I think then we can just have end if. Yeah, so I think that should be okay. And then here, well, we have the, we have this output unknown error. But the thing is, we only want to do this if we haven't found it. Because, well, if we have found it, otherwise it's going to output twice. So let's go here, right, if found equals false. Then what we'll do, let's go output. Okay, output. This will be unknown error. Online, and then, well, just the line number. And let's go end if. Right, I mean, so hopefully that should be okay. Let's just test it, see if this works. Right, so the line number, maybe let's say 10. And if we look at one of these error numbers, well, let's choose this error number 6. So here, well, that should say this one, right? File is read only. So yeah, let's try this. Okay, and let's run. Alright, so yeah, it seems I forgot something. Right, guys, and if you can tell, we've got this infinite loop, and the reason for that is, well, I forgot to increment the index here. And to be honest, this is something I always do, using repeat until, while loops. And yeah, this is one reason I do prefer for loops, to be honest, because yeah, you're not going to get this infinite loop. Right, but yeah, so here this seems to work. And let's try, for example, I think maybe there's no 5. And yeah, so here we get unknown error. Alright, so now then we'll just look at the next part. Looking at part B, it just tells us to write an efficient bubble sort algorithm for the sort arrays procedure. And if we just recap, well, what this should do is it should sort the arrays in ascending order of error code. Right, so I'm just going to go here. Now, actually, this array is already sorted, so let's actually just change some of these. And I'm going to use numbers that we've not already used. So let's try maybe 795, 798. So let's try maybe 795, or maybe let's try 797 and then 798. And in fact, yeah, let's actually not delete them. Right, so 795. Okay, so I mean, at least now it's not sorted. So what we can do, let's just go back down here, and right, we'll just define this. So this will be a procedure. It's called SortArrays. Yeah, this doesn't take any parameters. Let's just go end procedure. Now, if if we think, right, I said write efficient bubble sort. So if you're familiar with bubble sort, well, there's two kind of optimizations we can make. One is that we stop sorting when the array is already sorted, and the second is that basically we don't need to check the sort of let's say that on the first pass, the kind of rightmost element will be sorted. Then on the next pass, that will mean the 2 rightmost elements will be sorted. So that means that kind of each pass or each iteration, we have to kind of go to one less position. Now, if that doesn't make sense, I do have more detailed videos on bubble sort, which you can find on the channel. But yeah, I guess I don't really have much time in this video to go that detailed. So let's say this one, well, this would be did swap, right? This will be a boolean, and let's also declare a end position. And yeah, actually I'm just going to make it lowercase because, well, that's usually what I do. Right, so end position, that'll be an integer. Now here then, well, did swap, this will just be, yeah, let's say true. And I mean, we'll also just initialize this end position. So the end position, well, I mean, we could just do the length minus 1, but in this case, well, we know the length is 500, so the end position is, well, 499. And the reason for that is because, well, we compare elements like n with n plus 1. So here this would mean, right, we compare element 499 and compare it with 500. Now if we set the end position to 500, well then we would compare element 500 and 501. But of course, well, there is no element 501. So yeah, that's why this should be, you know, the length minus 1. So what we'll do is we'll say, yeah, while did swap equals true, well, then it means we need to, you know, continue looping through, right, continue sorting it. And what we'll do here, well, we'll say did swap equals false, and then basically if they're out of order, then we set this did swap to true. So let's say here we want to check if, and I guess, yeah, we will actually also need the, no, okay, yeah, we don't need the current index. Let's just put it inside a for loop. So we can say maybe n or position. All right, this will be 1, and then we will go to the end position. And right, then let's just say if, and we want to say if the error code, right, let's say error code position n is greater than, well, the error code n plus 1. Right, then if it is, well, this means they're out, yeah, they're not sorted. So what we're going to do, let's go maybe temp, yeah, no, temp error code. Right, that would be an integer. Here we're going to go temp, I guess, yeah, temp error message. Right, that will be a string. Right, so if they're not sorted, what we can do, let's set the temp error code, and this can be the error code index n. Right, then what we'll do is we'll set the error code, yeah, let's think maybe n plus 1. Yeah, I mean, well, let's try this, see if it works. Okay, I think maybe this way. And yeah, honestly, this is something I always get confused about. So here we're assigning, yeah, we're assigning the right one into the left one. And then, yeah, I guess then what we can do, let's go error code. This will be n plus 1, and then here we just assign it the temporary error code. Right, so I think that's okay. Now, I'm just going to copy this because, I mean, it's just going to be the same for the error message. But let's go temp error message. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Alright, then this is just going to be, what is it, error text. Right, so yeah, I mean, hopefully that works. I guess we'll see in a minute if it does. And then we also need to think, right here, let's also set the did swap to be true. Because yeah, this means, well, we swapped it, so obviously it's not in the correct order. Yeah, we need to keep looping. Right, then we can just have the next n. And after this, then we can just decrement the end position. Because like I said, well, after the first loop, the rightmost element will be sorted. Right after the second loop, well then, you know, the two rightmost elements will be sorted. So yeah, here we just have to kind of check one less each time. Okay, and I think, yeah, I think that should be okay. So what we'll do, maybe let's just delete this, yeah, output error thing. Instead, we'll just, right, let's just call SortArrays. And I mean, then quickly, let's just have a loop just to output them, just so we can test them. Right, and obviously in the exam, you don't need to do this. But yeah, just testing to see if it works. Because honestly, probably I've made a mistake. Right, so the first one, maybe let's just output the error code. Right, this will be index n, and let's just have maybe a colon. Right, then we'll just have the error message or error text. Right, then let's just go next n. And if we think, I mean, I guess, well, now of course, yeah, there's no like sort of 1, 3, 6 or whatever they were. And I mean, these should be resorted to go at the end. So let's just try this. Okay, so that seems correct. And then if we scroll down, yeah, so we're saying, no, hang on. Right, so this, okay, this 795, this should be the first one. Yeah, file is not a directory. Right, then we get 797, yeah, that was this namespace collision, and then 798, yeah, that's going to be this third one, file is read-only. Right guys, so I mean hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, then again I do have longer videos on bubble sort. I think both for A level and also for IG. So yeah, you could watch the IG videos on bubble sort, because I mean, well, that's, you know, that's included for IG and A level. Right, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And well, if it doesn't, yeah, of course, just ask in the comments. Yeah, ask on Discord, and hope to see you in the next video.